Good morning, students. Today's topic is techniques for writing precisely. Now, what do you mean by precisely? Precisely is nothing but writing something effectively using accurate words, when writing any particular context. Now, when you're in colleges, for example, you need to write paragraphs, you need to write essays, you need to write letters, reports. The same way tomorrow, when you join any particular workplace, there also you need to present certain minutes of meeting, sending emails. So writing precisely is very, very important. As today, we'll go ahead with what are the techniques which we have to utilize while writing something very effectively and accurately. Now, quickly, we'll move on to the points. Understand the task at hand, read the questions carefully, identify words, and note what exactly you need to do. Now, for example, if you have to write a letter, for example, so what kind of a letter it is? So it is a complaint letter, it is a permission letter. You should know what kind of words to be used. If it's a complaint letter, you know what kind of terminology to be used. If it's a permission letter, how submissive you need to use the terms while writing that particular letter. So quickly you have to make a note of it. The same way, the second one, prepare an outline for your write-up based on the task requirements. So we'll go with the same example. If you're writing a complaint letter, the outline is you'll have three paragraphs. So what I would like to do in my introduction, what I would like to do in my, the reason for writing this particular letter, and how do I conclude my complaint letter. So you have to prepare an outline. Now, basing on that outline, search for credible sources of information and read them quickly. Now, for example, if you're writing an article, your teacher told you to write an article which is around 200 to 300 words. So you're not much familiar with the topic, but still you have an idea. You have jotted some points, but you need more notes to improve or extend your ideas. So for that, we need to, pick up some sources. We have two kinds of sources called primary sources and secondary sources. Now, primary sources are nothing but the textbooks. Okay, so you can gather some, quotations, or you can gather some, certain sayings or expressions, certain examples from the primary. The same way from the secondary also, like, magazines, journals, you can refer. You can quickly, take down certain information from there. Now, what exactly you should do? When you have gathered some notes, make a note of it, because you'll forget. You think that, okay, this point is good, let me add up, but you'll forget. So kindly jot down those important points either from the primary source or from the secondary source. Now, the next important point is understand organizational patterns of text. There are different patterns. Now, for example, you're writing a report. There are different kinds of reports. You have technical reports, you have project reports. So you should know what is the pattern to be followed, what kind of report I'm writing. The same way, what kind of letter I'm writing, what kind of an email I'm doing. So every writing part has a different pattern. So you have to follow the pattern. If you take resume writing, so resumes are also different categories. So which kind of resume, which pattern should I follow? So that is also very, very important. Next, after doing all this, write the first draft based on your reading. So what information you have gathered, some points, you have sketched your outline, you have fixed your organizational pattern. So quickly draft the information. Read your draft carefully, ensure all main points are included. So what all you have thought, this is my first idea, the second idea, the third idea, that chronologically arranged or not, all that you have to edit your text. So whatever I have thought, is it framed in that way? You have to cross check, you have to edit your texts. Now continuing it. Combine. So when you're editing text, what all you should do? Combine short sentences into compound and complex sentences. Now sometimes you're in a pressure writing certain things. When you jot down ideas, sometimes 4 or 5 words will also be termed as a sentence. So see to it that such simple sentences can you just add a conjunction like so, because, but, and combine them into a compound or a complex sentences. See, I'm not asking you all to frame big sentences, but sometimes very small sentences can be made into a compound sentence. So when you're editing, you can do this. The same way, when you're editing, you know what, like for example, you know, redundancy. You know, you'll be repeating the same old idea. So you can cut short that. You know, that is very, very important. Sometimes we repeat the same idea again in the next paragraph, the last paragraph. So when you are checking it, when you're editing, you have to cut short all those sentences. Now, proofread your text for typos and punctuation marks. Now, today everything is online, students. So when I ask you all to write something, when you type a paragraph on your system or something, you know, our concentration is only on context or the topic. So we would like to jot as number of ideas as, you know, our mind gets into picture, or comes into picture, we start writing it. So when you go back and when you're editing it, when you're proofreading it, you'll find number of punctuation mistakes. You know, you'll forget to put a full stop, forget to put a comma, hyphenated words. The same way, typographical errors, spelling mistakes. You know, all these are very, very important. So you have to spend enough time proofreading your text. Read the full text once before finalizing it. So once again, go through each and every word. Okay, what all you have done. See, because I said to proofread, don't use a Grammarly check or something. You do it on your own first. We are enough, you know, equipped with grammar and vocabulary to change terms, to add good terms, to replace them, to reduce redundancy and all that. So I hope these points help you a lot. And quickly, when I can give you a small paragraph or an essay writing, these things you'll put in your mind and you'll do your best. Thank you, students, for today's class.